All right, now that one tank is emptied and the other is filled, let's get back to it. And nobody knew what to say. Miraculously, I had a couple days off before going back on to day shift. I would be investigated 2 more times. One at the beginning of the Trump administration and one at the end.
For being gay. Investigated for being gay.
They don't say that because they can't legally.
I was going to say, isn't that illegal?
Yeah. But Trump actually removed that protection.
Okay.
That was through executive order. He removed the LGBT community as a protected class. Mm-hmm. And couldn't say any reason why. I think I said this when you interviewed me for the Be Inspired podcast. Mm-hmm. When I was undercover in San Francisco, I did about a year-long undercover assignment similar to the CIA and how they monitor terrorist chat online.
Okay.
They go online and talk to these people pretending to be,
okay. Yeah, I got it.
Sympathizers.
Yep.
I did the same thing for fraud. And one of the things I was taught was to just go on and have other chats. So if somebody gets into the system, they don't see credit card. They see other shit that would make me look like a real person. Mm-hmm. I found through chat rooms and befriended a Dutch, as in from the Netherlands, I think, Marine, who was, for that country, their Marines were their special forces. Mm-hmm. He was also gay. He was part of a 6-man team. 4 of the 6 members were gay. 2 of those 4 were a couple.
Okay.
All 6 have hooked up together.
Okay.
So even the 2 straight ones, I guess that's the whole being European or whatever, had no problem hooking up with their buddies. And yet, I can't even be around anybody in, DC and in the U.S. climate. And the fact is, service members have been polled. They don't care about what you are that way as far as orientation. Mm-hmm. They want to know, when I'm in a foxhole with this guy, can he do his job?
Absolutely. So being in a chat room with those Dutch folks was part of the investigation?
No. There's still a lot of stuff I can't talk about. Okay. But I was getting some training from outside the Secret Service, from, we'll just call them industry experts on how to be undercover. But they weren't allowed to train me either, so they could have gotten in trouble, and to this day still could.
Because of the gay factor?
No, because they weren't authorized to do the training.
Oh. Okay.
So they said, find a couple of documents from home, and we'll teach you how to make them the cover or what we're giving you online. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you come across this file, like my supervisors did, they'll see the cover and they'll not see that this information is coming from, as I said, other industry experts on how to be undercover online.
Okay.
I made the mistake of picking something from a chat that I had at home on my home computer with a friend of mine that was sexual in nature. And when the supervisors did an audit of the system and they saw this document, they saw my chat with this friend that was sexual on a work computer. And again, they were gunning for me because of some other things. And so they just used it as the excuse to kick me off the undercover project.
Wow.
And when I went back and told the people that were teaching me how to be undercover that this happened, they laughed and said, "How are you going to work for us? You got kicked out of your own country." And busting my balls, really.
Yeah.
And I couldn't contact them anymore. They now knew to stop, contacting me. But basically, this cover sheet, if I type a certain phrase or words into it, it's the password. And the system reads that, the program that you used reads that, and it takes the cover sheet away and exposes the real information that you're hiding. And of course, I never said that to the supervisors because that would give away, who was training me. Mm-hmm. And they have no idea what they lost. They also found, they told me later, that they found all kinds of, thousands of credit card numbers that I had my system sweep, which is what we're supposed to be doing. And they were compromised credit card numbers throughout the world that they were able to forward to the banks that own those numbers and prevent, millions of dollars of fraud loss because those cards were never used, all because of what I did. So, now imagine if they would have just minded their own business, I guess.
No, it must have been a tough time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
I went back to just working in the field office. We were kind of hands off when we were undercover, which was good. But because one of the biggest problems in our criminal investigations in general is that when we have a good investigation going, every 4 years we have to put it on the back burner because this thing called a campaign comes along.
Right.
And we're gone for 6 months.
Right.
And U.S. attorneys don't like that. Mm-hmm. So the undercover guys were not sent to protection assignments. They were left home, untouchable, and, did what they did. As a result, I now got to go back to doing something else I loved, and that was protection. And the new boss in protection was we were short a boss in the office, and he had 2 squads. He had the counterfeit squad, counterfeit currency, which is where I got sent. Basically, it's where either the rookies go or it's the rubber gun squad, the people they don't like.
Okay.
And it's Friday, late afternoon on Friday. I'm setting up my new desk. Got everything all organized and pretty. He comes walking by, just kind of winces because he sees that I'm ready to go. He was also the boss in the Protective Intelligence Squad and the Protection Squad. In a smaller office like that, they're the same squad. Mm-hmm. He says, "How's PI sound to you?" He says, "Come with me." So we go to his office. He says, "Look, I know what happened on the undercover thing. Don't worry about it. You got a clean slate here. But as your boss, I got to prepare you for the next level. And if we leave you here in counterfeit to be forgotten about, you're going to go to protection in a year from now," which in that case turned out to be Hillary Clinton, "and you're not going to know what you're doing because you have no exposure to protective intelligence. That is threat analysis. If you threaten the president or anybody, that's who comes to talk to you.
Okay.
So I would suggest we move you to protective intelligence, because that'll better prepare you for your next phase. Today, yeah. One, I don't know. I don't have much of a say in it to begin with because of what already happened.
Right.
And two, I agree. If I don't have much time left here, let's do that. And then I can do other protection as well and learn that better than what I have already.
Mm-hmm.
And, he agreed. I got some really good assignments from that, protection assignments.
Mm-hmm.
It's how one of the protection assignments was with the country because of what eventually happened. I can't say who it is, but I did the lead advance for this country's visit. That is like the top advance agent. You're in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a prestigious assignment if you get that.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for it as well. That to that same boss that now, switched me over to his other squad.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for it. He says, "Wow, you're showing me something." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're ready. And he gave me the lead for this upcoming visit. Went great. Excellent job by everybody. Very good relationship with that country's embassy.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that we would be social with these people on our own time to further develop a continued relationship. And he told us that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Go out, go to dinner with them. They pay for it. The embassy pays for it. Go to dinner with them. Behave yourself, but have fun. Don't take your government car. Don't take your gun. Be smart. And we did. Even after the visit, they came to our Christmas party. I was asked to go to dinner with the head guy from the embassy again, not the actual ambassador, but somebody that we thought was a head staffer, like a head chief of staff or logistics type person. I go to dinner with him again, and great evening. The two of us go through 2 bottles of wine and plenty of steak and everything. We start talking about, some personal things for each of us. He too talked about some personal things. And the meeting, the dinner, the evening ends. We say our goodbyes. We're out on the sidewalk in San Francisco in front of the restaurant. When we turn and go opposite directions, and I just had this weird feeling like I was about to be pitched. Speaking of which, that's a House of Cards theme. Like I was about to be pitched, meaning that they were going to ask me to spy against the United States for their country.
Whoa.
And I just kind of laugh. I turn around to look for him, and he's gone. He could not have gone anywhere that fast. Unless he got in a car.
Right.
That he said wasn't there waiting for him.
Right. Right.
I went back into the restaurant. And I said, "Did so-and-so come back in? Did he forget something or anything?" Like, no. I said, "Do you mind if I go walk through and have a look just to make sure?" And they knew who I was from all these trips to this restaurant. And we brought other protectees there as well. And they're like, "So sure, go ahead." He wasn't there. I know how to search a building. He wasn't there. Which means one of two things. Mm-hmm. He did get in a car. Mm-hmm. Or the reason that they choose that restaurant in the first place is because one of the other buildings right there aside of the restaurant, it's all like townhouse, high-rise type things. Everything's right next door. Downtown San Francisco. It means they had what's called a safe house.
Gotcha.
Meaning there's no sign out front saying that it's operated by this country. In fact, it's something else. Mm-hmm. And he was gone. So I didn't know. I just, it kind of reminded me of some of the spy novels I would have read by that point. Mm-hmm. So the following week, I'm sitting at my desk. We've got a new supervisor in the squad now. Oddly enough, it's the guy that kicked me off the undercover assignment. He comes up behind me, taps me on the shoulder, and says,
"Hey, gang, if you haven't figured out by now, we're doing a series. So, we're going to take a break, but then come right back with the next episode."